Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's Local Chat, episode 232. I'm your host, Will Crosby. Joining me this week is a man who thinks his opinions are facts. It's Ian Gibson.
Correction, they are. Thank you.
Perfect. And another
Honestly,
person
you could have done that intro for either of us. It would have worked.
That's true. And another man who thinks his opinions are facts. It's David from Save Data.
Thank you. Don't look at my note that I already wrote prior to the stream on the discussion topic.
Oh, no.
Where I put parentheses, the correct answer.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. David's going to be disappointed at the end of this podcast.
Folks, we're here to talk about video games. We're talking about all sorts of cool things. I wrote Fortnite in the chit chat section, and I just remembered why I wrote Fortnite. I'm so into it. No.
Can I just say, before you talk about this, I swear to God, if you are having a Fortnite moment, there are so many people in the games media that I respect who play Fortnite and say, hey, Fortnite's a great game. It's not. It's not. Every time I try and play Fortnite, and I did it as recently as a couple months ago, the game feels like shit. It plays like shit. Like, just the core fucking running and shooting feels like shit. I appreciate how much they've put on top of that and all the content. That's kind of cool. But the game feels like shit, and we have to stop pretending that it doesn't, people. So I swear to God, Will, if you break my heart,
no, I'd never play Fortnite.
Do it.
But I would for a price. My question, because they were talking about how they're adding South Park to it, which isn't my thing. But I think this was on Game Ass Morning. Jeff Grubb was like, oh, what if they did like a Lord of the Rings? And I was like, fuck. I might install Fortnite to play Lord of the Rings. So I was wondering
I just feel like that those Lord, like, I don't want to. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm like, if they give Gandalf an AK, like the one memes from way back in the day, maybe.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I said I played Fortnite recently, and I did because my nephew was playing it, and I played it a little bit with him. And it was during the Simpsons moment, during the Simpsons pack. So I ran around Springfield.
Cool.
It was cool how far they went, but at the end of the day, it is still just Fortnite. It's just some people have skins, and there's parts of the map that you recognize. So it's like it. The answer is there is no amount of content they can add that would get me to like love that game and enjoy playing that game, because it literally is the core fucking mechanics of it are
so
ass, basically.
If they added hundreds of beavers with the whole map and the shopkeeper and all that, you wouldn't play that.
Fuck. I know. I would probably watch somebody play it. Is what I would do.
Okay.
But my point is, what you're talking about with all their content, all of that is like cosmetic, and there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. What I want them to change and fix is like the core mechanics. If they just made that game feel just a little bit better, I would probably play it, or at least give it another shot. But did you see the thing they're doing with South Park? It's the same thing they had to do with Bart in The Simpsons. Is that
they're all
I can't
mechs.
Yeah, it's something to do with their hitbox and their models, and I don't know if it's a competitive
it's to keep
fairness
it's to
thing.
Not create not create an advantage.
Is it
not to have an
just
odd
that?
job?
Because that's fucking dumb. Like, your game is already stupid fucking crazy, and you have skins that blend in and you have skins that stick out. Like, your competitive like balancing is out the fucking
size,
window.
Though.
Who fucking cares? Give them less health. I don't care. Like, so that's why I'm like, I know they're going to do the content, but I know they're also going to like fuck it up in some way, like they're doing by having the South Park guys in full size human mech suits, because they don't want to have them be child size, you know?
Yeah. You don't want to fight children. David, is there anything they could add that would pull you into it?
Psychonauts.
I just thinking that too. Tails.
No, I don't want either of those. Because I'd want something that like I'm gonna say the word fits. I know that's a weird thing to say when everything is in Fortnite, but I feel like a lot of it doesn't fit in Fortnite. What would be cool? Gundams.
Ooh.
Yeah, like full size Gundams.
Space battles.
Yeah.
Yes, that
'Cause,
would be
like,
cool.
I know they've done like Star Wars where you can pilot like X-wings and TIE fighters in certain events
Yeah.
and stuff. I'm like, and they've done like Godzilla. I'm like, give everybody a Gundam, blow up the size of the map to be huge, and have a G Gundam tournament in the middle of
Yeah.
in the island.
Like playing core Fortnite, there's very little that could get me back, but their concerts, if they brought like Justice on for a concert or something like that, or Sufjan Stevens did a concert in Fortnite, I'd be like, that's fucking crazy. I have to go see that, you know? But the other thing Fortnite's been doing lately, and they're doing it a little slowly, but they have the advantage of platform size. They are slowly becoming Roblox, because they are letting people create their own experiences in a marketplace, and you go in and you play other people's experiences. Like, I think one of the most popular idle clicker games with kids right now is in the Fortnite marketplace. And I believe there's actually a lawsuit because the Fortnite version is a direct copy of the Roblox version, and the Roblox
Hell
developer
yeah.
of that experience is suing whoever made it in Fortnite to be like, you just straight fucking copied my thing. So I would play more Fortnite if they lean more into the Roblox, and I could go in and search 9/11 Obama like I do in Roblox and have some weird experience to play in Fortnite. Because Fortnite does feel better than Roblox, you know?
That's true.
Which is not a hard bar
So,
to clear.
if they made a Fortnite roller coaster tycoon like we played in Roblox,
Oh, I'd be there I'd be there day fucking one. If they made an obby in Fortnite, there probably already is an obby in
that's
Fortnite.
true. I talked about that. I get that Fortnite ad on Reddit all the time that just says, come back to Fortnite, we have speed building, and it shows a guy running, it shows him quickly building a thing in front of him, and it conveys zero information to me about what any of that means.
He's doing it fast.
It's like, it just looks like a Fortnite clip. It doesn't look like I don't know what speed building means or anything. You're not explaining it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess they're not trying to get me. They're trying to get someone who used to play and now is like, oh, they're speed building. Oh. Which is my impression of those people. Speaking of people work on video games. Well, less people now, but people do work on video games. And we are going to talk about the video games that people worked on that we played. I'm going to start with David because you've only got 2 things on here, and I want to hear about both of them.
Yeah, I played a ton of games over like the holiday break. I had a couple weeks off, but
Nice.
The 2 that I wanted to talk about were first one's Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I don't know if either of you picked that up last year.
I haven't played it.
Did either of you play Ninja Gaiden Ragebound?
No.
Okay, both of those games kind of in the same vein of like, and I cannot believe both of these games came out the same year, like a couple months apart too, because they're crazy similar. Like,
it's Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ghost of Yote.
Yeah, no, they're like the beginning of the game is the same basically. It's nuts. But essentially you play as Joe Musashi, who is both the lamest and coolest ninja at the same time. He doesn't talk. I think that's lame, but also his name's just Joe. He's just the Ninja Joe.
You know,
he's cool. He's got a cool design, but it's a 2D action platformer. Very heavy emphasis on the action in Shinobi, whereas I think Ninja Gaiden Ragebound actually has a little more on the platforming side. But yeah, it's kind of a character action game in places. It feels incredible. Lots of like juggling enemies, lots of doing cool combos that you unlock as you play through the game, lots of just special abilities. Action feels good. What platforming there is feels mostly good. Couple spots where it doesn't, but for the most part feels good. High variance and challenge. If you want to go crazy and get challenged, you can. If you want to just cruise through the main story, that's not a big deal too. You can cruise through that pretty easily. Last boss is actually pretty challenging, which I found very cool. I didn't think any other boss in the game was very hard, so like it was kind of like cruising through. Most I tried other bosses like 2 or 3 times, then I got to the last boss and I was getting my face kicked in, which is kind of the opposite of Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, where like that game had a lot of strong bosses. Like I felt the boss fights were stronger in that game, but I felt the action was stronger in Shinobi. Like they have this like give and take between these 2 games that came out so close together and are so thematically similar. But I had a great time. They do a thing in this game that not many other games do, and that is they let you juggle some of the bosses. They're like, we don't care if they're super strong. We don't care. It's an action game. You want to juggle things. We're going to let you juggle most of the bosses.
That's crazy.
And are they normal? So cool.
Are they normal size bosses, or are they like big on the screen bosses?
I mean, they're mostly bigger than you, but they're not. Okay. For the most part, they're not huge. The couple that are really big are ones you can't juggle, that are like take up half the screen or more. Gotcha. Like you don't juggle those ones, but all the ones that are like humanoid, basically, you're able to juggle. There's a sweet demon dude who like has a sword through his stomach when he's fighting you, and to hit, like, he pulls it out of his own stomach to hit you with it, and he's so fucking cool. Love stomach that boss. Slot. He's rad. Oh, and he's like bleeding when he takes it out too. It's not even like
he's got a cool new stomach slot that he can put his sword in.
It's a cool stomach slot. But I had a lot of fun with it. It's got plenty of flaws. It's not a perfect game by any means. But I had a really good time with it. Definitely highly recommend to anyone who wants a cool 2D action game. It might give you the vibes looking at just like a brief clip of gameplay that it's like Metroidvania-ish. It is not.
No.
It's much more 2D action platforming. And like they have some stuff where like they definitely put things in the levels for you to go back to later after you unlock all the abilities to like go 100% each level if you want to do that. But it's all totally optional. But it's cool. I like that game a lot. Highly recommend.
Cool.
Did you 2 questions, Your Honor, if it pleases the court. I forgot the first one, so I'm gonna go second.
You asking the judge?
Yeah, Your Honor, if it pleases the court. Have you played any of the other Shinobi games prior to this?
No. First time playing a Shinobi game. I have no idea if this is like a return to form or a completely departure from the series.
I've heard this is the best Shinobi game now.
Wow.
That's what people always said. That they're like, Shinobi was good, but it was never this great. And this is amazing.
Yeah, considering I've never really heard of Shinobi before.
Excuse me, Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master would like to have a word with you out back.
Yeah.
And second question, good on Steam Deck?
Probably.
I played on PlayStation, but I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be good on Steam Deck. Unless the performance is bad, which I just don't know because I played on PlayStation.
Sorry, third question, Your Honor, if that pleases the court. Bailiff, please. Please me. Please, Bailiff, please me while I ask this question. Harder than Hollow Knight or less hard than Hollow Knight?
Oh, way easier than Hollow Knight. You kidding me? Cool. Way easier than Hollow Knight.
Okay, and I beat Hollow Knight, so I should be able to do that then.
I beat it too by never playing it.
I beat his ass.
I don't think most people would have too much trouble with any of the boss fights except for like the last one. The last one is significantly more difficult than all the others. And there's some other sequences that are not boss fights that I didn't enjoy that do give me Hollow Knight vibes of like, man, I don't like this. Like significant sections of Silksong. But there's like some chase scenes, and listen, hey, stop putting those in your video games. They're never good.
Yeah.
They literally are never good. Just stop.
Never. I'm gonna throw this on my wish list. I was thinking about getting it, but I think I might. This feels like it's on sale for $8.99, and I'm like, I wanted to play that. Like, I want to get through that.
It's on our GOTY try list because there is a lot of GOTY buzz for this, and it's ending up on a lot of top 10 lists.
Giant Bomb Boys
it's not on my top 10. Not on my top 10.
So that's surprising because it feels like I only hear about it in the context of people being like, "Holy shit, this game's really good." And then it ended up in a lot of top 10s.
That's part of why I picked it up too, because I played Ragebound and was surprised. And Ragebound almost made my top 10. It didn't quite make it.
God, you said
this one came out a little under Ragebound for me, which I know most people had Shinobi over Ragebound, but I don't agree.
You said Ragebound, and I immediately thought of the game Rage. And I was like, why? Wait, did they like come out with a new Rage? Like, what's his face back? That's wild. That's fun. Oh, sorry, you have another game. Oh, and you can answer many questions.
I wasn't sure
about
if you
this
were done
game.
asking questions. Or
No,
not.
I am, Your Honor. I've sustained and abdicated. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The other game I've been playing is Trails in the Sky First Chapter. This is a remake of the first Trails in the Sky game. It's a complete remake. Systems are totally different. It's nothing like the original, as far as I can tell. I didn't play the original, but like, I went and looked up some screenshots and gameplay. I'm like, this is not. It's not what it's very true to the original in like layout and characters and writing and stuff. But in terms of gameplay, I don't think it's true to it at all. In good ways. So I'm not super far in this. I'm like 15 hours in, and as we all know, for JRPG, that's you're not very far.
A couple minutes.
So yeah, I got lots of time left in this one, I think, but I am having a genuinely fantastic time with this video game. And I wish I had played it before we did our top 10 on save data, because it probably would be in my top 10 and relatively high. I'm liking it a lot. It is not doing anything original in combat, but it is doing so many different things incredibly well in its combat system. So if you're not familiar, and I wasn't familiar till I played this game, the Trails combat system is 2 combat systems at the same time. There's a action combat
systems
and a turn-based combat system that exists side to side. So essentially, as you run around the world, you run into enemies. You kind of choose whether you fight them real time or turn-based. And if you're fighting them real time, it's an action game. You've got a couple types of attacks. You've got a dodge roll. And what you can do is you can damage the enemies in that mode. They have a stagger bar that you build up. And if you build up their stagger bar all the way and then go into the turn-based mode, you'll start off with an advantage. And what that essentially means is they start off and they lose their first turn, whenever that is.
Like a surprise round?
If you... Kind of, but like if you have any characters that go before them in the turn order and they hit him, it will allow your other characters to do like follow-on attacks too. So it's not just they lose their turn, you also get potential bonuses if your people are faster than them. And that part alone is cool. And the action feels, I wouldn't say great, but it's serviceable for what it is. Is like, it's clearly not the focus of the combat, but it's serviceable. I feel like attacks are responsive. Every character that you can change who's like the party leader, and that changes how they fight. Like there's a lady with a whip who has like longer range and more sweeping attacks, and there's a dude with like double swords who has like more single target focus attacks depending on what you're fighting. Once you swap into turn-based combat, they kind of took a bunch of systems from a bunch of different JRPGs I love and shoved them into the same thing in cool ways. So it is turn-based. It uses speed to determine turn order, and like you can have abilities that delay people's turns and like change the turn order and stuff like that. Kind of like a Grandia. I think that was the first real JRPG to do that. So they've got that element where you can delay turns, you can move your turn up depending on abilities you use, you can kick somebody super far down, you can freeze them in the turn order. There's a bunch of cool stuff you can do there with abilities. On your turn, you have like a circle around you for movement, so you can move that amount on the battlefield. And you also get, when you're doing either abilities or magic, for the ones that are AoE, you actually are like placing circles on the ground, you're targeting lines, you're targeting cones to like try and squeeze in as many people as you can. And it ends up just being a really cool system. Every turn a character has, there's a chance they get one of like 8 bonuses as well, and it's random which ones you get on your turn. So like you might restore a little bit of mana, you might restore a little bit of combo points, which you use to do like more martial attacks. It's just incredibly cool. Each of the attacks does different things, lots of status effect things, lots of like buff and shield stuff. The last thing I did before I went to bed last night was I beat a pain in the ass boss that was incredibly difficult. And it was done by like, they have a whole magic system where you basically have a little pocket watch that has a bunch of crystals in it. And depending on how you place the crystals and the levels of crystals you use, that determines what magic your characters can cast. They don't have any innate magic. So they're all based on like what crystals you do. So like I was getting my teeth kicked in because these guys were kicking my ass. And then I was like, okay, let me look at my magic and see what I can do here. And so I moved some stuff around, got some new abilities by chaining together different elements. And then like I got characters that could do an AoE shield that gives all of my people an extra 1,000 health basically. And I got like more AoE heals on other people. It was cool. It was rad. And you can just switch that based on the you can't do it in the middle of combat, but like if you're losing to a boss, you can pop out to the save before the boss and then just kind of like rearrange your magic, try some different things, go in, give another shot. Yeah, but this boss, like essentially they all went before me and my team started a clump and they all do AoE, so they just AoE'd my team down to like 20% health shit before the fight even started. And I was like, man, this is rough. But got through it. It was rough, but got through it by changing up my magic. Most of bosses have not been that difficult. This was definitely the hardest one so far. And I looked online and people were like, hey, this fight fucking sucks. So it wasn't just me. But it's such a cool combination of systems. The AoE thing comes from like a mixture of like Grandia and Skies of Arcadia. In fact, one of the characters even had a line, like voice line from Skies of Arcadia that was very much a reference to a character. So they're not opposed to doing that. There's like a guy with a gun. Skies of Arcadia, his name's Gilder. He's like a sky pirate, and he has a ability where he shoots a ton in a line, and there's almost no voice acting in the game, but the abilities have one, and he just like says like dance for me, and then pop, pop. And the guy in this game basically
and they dance
the exact same. Well, they get shot, and so they're moving as they're being shot, so they
comply. I want to make sure they're complying to the dance
against their will.
Yeah,
against their will.
Against me.
But yeah, just combat in this game absolutely fucking rules. That's what's keeping me super engaged. Story so far is interesting, but like it's one of those JRPGs that's definitely starting me off really slow and building up a lot of like there's a lot happening that you're not aware of yet. And I'm like,
there's a
that's
whole
cool,
world
but
for you to explore.
Yeah, it's like that's cool, but also I would like to know at least a little bit about some of these, so I'm not just in the dark for 20 hours, but I'm in the dark for 20 hours, and I've accepted that at this point.
Everyone keeps talking about this chosen one. You're pretty sure it's you, but they haven't said it yet.
No chosen one yet.
Oh,
no chosen one stuff.
Okay.
You play. So there's two main characters. No, at least not yet. There's two main characters that I'm aware of, and I'm not sure which one's like the true main character. But you play as Estelle Bright and her adopted brother Joshua Bright. And essentially, your dad is a badass adventurer. You don't think or know he's a badass. You think he's a bum. And Estelle, the main character, is very vocal about like, my dad sucks. What are you all talking about? Why do you think he's so cool? But he's like some big badass and like goes missing during a job. And so like we're trying to essentially hunt him down and figure out why this badass dad of ours went away. And there's some mysteries around Joshua because he just your dad just came back with him one day and was like, hey, you have a brother now. And you're like, what?
Oh, it's a bastard.
Wow, spoilers.
That's literally the beginning of the game is your child Estelle and your dad comes back holding Joshua and like you're like 15 or no, you're like 10 or something when this happens. And like he puts him on the bed and he's like, this is your brother now. And that's it. That's
okay.
But it's cool so far. This series is like long, so I'm hoping the story kind of ropes me in later. I just don't expect it to happen quickly based on this series being like 10 games long and they're all connected. So.
Nightmare. So wait.
Yeah, we'll see.
So is Trails of the Sky first chapter a remake of or a reboot or whatever of Legend of Heroes Trails of the Sky, like part 1 of that game, or like the whole version of the game?
I believe
Sorry, I know that's a complex question that you might not know the answer to.
it is. I believe it is the whole first game in the Trails series.
Cool. I wasn't sure if they were naming it
I am
chapter
not-
1, like first
I'm
chapter.
not positive of that. I
Like
have a feeling
retroactively or
I
proactively.
I would need to go check this, but the vibe I get is that saying first chapter is part of fixing the naming convention, so
Yeah,
you know
that's
the
what I
order
thought.
of the games.
Okay. That makes more sense.
I think, but I'm not positive about that because I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, the release timeline, and I have no idea if this is the order of the games, like timeline wise. First game is Trails in the Sky, and that's what this is a remake of. The second game is Trails in the Sky SC.
Hell yeah.
Third game is Trails in the Sky the Third. Fourth game is Trails from Zero. Fifth game is Trails to Azure.
No.
And then you get into the Trails of Cold Steel, like quote unquote sub-series, which is Trails of Cold Steel 2, Cold Steel 3, Cold Steel 4. And then Trails into Reverie, and then Trails through Daybreak 1 and 2. And then Trails Beyond the
365
Horizon,
or
which came out
100.
last year. Yeah, so like there's a ton. I'm hoping they're doing this to kind of make it more clear as to which order you play them, because based on how much I've played so far, I fucking love this game. So if it maintains that love to the end, like I'm gonna play through this series. It might take me 20 years, but I'm gonna play through this series.
Christ,
not
that
to
sounds like a
former-
commitment.
Not to continue with not having Ian talk, but have you played any of the Ys games? Ys games?
No, I haven't played these games.
Okay.
I know that I believe it's the same developer.
Yes, I think so as well.
I believe.
I just know.
I think the Trails East and the Tales games are all identical. I believe it's actually just one game that they keep re-releasing and changing the name.
It's just anime. Because people say the 8th one, Lacrimosa Dana. Sorry, I had to quickly read that. Is good, like really good, and I always hear people.
I heard
the
new one like a couple years ago was also really good. Like
Is this the second year of the JRPG for Will? Is that what's happening right now?
No,
Somebody sounds
I've been-
very JRPG curious.
I've been thinking. I've been thinking about. Are we a JRPG pride?
Just continue playing Metaphor,
we
you
can-
sick fuck.
I know that's the problem. Is like I should just keep playing Metaphor, but it's been long enough that I don't remember anything about that game.
That you have to watch the 2-hour opening
Fucking-
again.
I have like 30 hours in that game, and I'm like, I don't know if I could just pick it up. But
you got a while left. It's still.
yeah, that's a problem. But I'm also being. I don't know. I just keep thinking about sitting down and playing like.
Well, let me just say, if you
PS1
have
or
30
PS2
hours in the
RPG.
Metaphor, you're under no obligation to play the rest of that game
No, I know
or
that.
start it over.
I know. Listen,
You've played
I'm
that
starting
game,
the healing process.
no obligation.
Of
You know what you are obligated to play though is Tales of Symphonia. You are obligated.
So I was thinking
Yes.
if I could start that, but
Yes.
that would be a stream series, and then I'm like, I can't just pick that up. I gotta make sure everyone's
It doesn't have to be a
available.
stream series.
I don't care if you stream it or not.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you need to stream it, honestly.
And that one, hey, you could just tell me where you are at any point in the game if you fall off and come back, and I can tell you what happened.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'll have to pick that one's GameCube, right?
Yeah.
I was playing. Well, we'll get into it, but I was playing my GameCube earlier this week.
GameCube version is the best version of that game.
Hell
Too.
yeah.
It's the only one that's 60 FPS.
I think it's on there. Folks.
David, I meant to tell you,
Wow.
I did not find a Tales of Symphonia GameCube in Japan. I really did check every game store I went into. I checked for that and a couple other things.
I appreciate that.
But I did not find it. I'm sorry.
I'm not surprised
I
you
did,
didn't, but
I did find at one point the collector's edition, like the big box version of it. But I forgot to send a message to you asking. Yeah, I think it was like, I don't know if it was actually collector's edition, but it was like, it wasn't just the game in a jewel case. It was like a chonker, you know.
Big chunker. It was a Labubu. It was
I
a
probably
Tails
would've bought
Labubu. They made them.
Actually, wait, the
Tales
collector's
Labubu.
edition might have been the GameCube.
So I may have seen something else then.
Was it like teal blue?
I don't remember. I just remember it being like a cardboard box, like a bigger than it should be if it's just the game cardboard box.
That might have been the GameCube.
Well, no, it was too thin. It was only like 2 inches thick.
Oh, okay.
It was like
it's the game,
like a cereal box kind
it's
of
the
thing.
game Rectangle they actually
yeah,
made for the special edition.
Because I don't think they
Oh.
did a collector's edition. I think the collector's edition
That may have been
was
something else then.
Could have been
They have newer
guide?
ones. Like they have
Hardcover
the
guide.
PS3 one.
Oh, you know what? I think it was the PS3.
Oh, I have the
It's
PS3
been too long.
collector's edition.
Don't worry, I'm gonna go back to Japan
Yeah.
soon. I just haven't decided a date yet. I want to go back so bad. It's so good.
He's got to go back like a horse fucking grass. He's got to go back to Japan.
Like a horse fucking grass.
You know,
He wants it so
he
bad.
wants it. That grass got to get bred. Speaking of being bred, I have been playing a shit ton of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's so good. I know I talk about it every week. I'm going to continue to talk about it every week because it's so great. I've got 55 and a half hours in this game. I have reached the second map, folks. The second map has struck the Twin Towers of gaming called the 2 in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I can, I was playing this game and I was going through the tooltips and I was like, oh, I need to like check how to do this Master Strike thing again. And then I tabbed over and it said, oh, when you have your blacksmith company. And I went, excuse me? So apparently I can start up a blacksmithing company, which is very exciting. Maggie's screaming at Ian Gibson. I just got to Kuttenberg, which is like a big medieval city with like a church and everything. And there's like people in the streets and shit going on. It's just so good. So the new map's cool.
Can I ask you
yes.
Can I ask you a spicy question about this?
Spicy.
This
There's
game,
nudity.
I feel like every person who plays this game absolutely loves it, and it ends up being in like their top 3 games of the year, if not their number 1.
Yes.
And yet this game does feel like it is getting a bit of a snub from some gaming outlets.
Yeah, because the game is also kind of mean. And obtuse.
Yeah.
Or you mean the game itself? I feel like I don't mean to be a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like this game is unfortunately suffering from a bit of a political backlash, especially from the developer and things they have said. And it feels like there are outlets that are. Do you feel like this game is not quite getting as much laurels and applause as it deserves?
I mean,
considering how much you love the game.
In the Game of the Year contention for the Game Awards, so I kind of just don't agree with you.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's a thing you can jump to very easily and be like, oh, that's the reason. But I don't think it's that way. I think it's because people look at this game and either they're into it or they're not. Like when I really think about it,
That's
medieval setting games have been done a lot, and especially this one isn't fantasy, so I feel like a lot of people look at that and like, oh, how could that be fun and sort of thing. It really is a brilliant game, but I can see someone not picking up because of that and being like, oh, this can't possibly compete with all the other games I'm playing.
I've heard people talk about it who have given it a fair shot and bounced off, and most of it was just the obtuseness or the like some of the systems just not being enjoyable to them, of like you have to have the save schnapps to save the fucking game if you don't want to save and quit.
And
that's not the only, that's the like big example, but I know there's other systems in the game that are kind of like obtuse and frictional that people don't necessarily jive with.
Yeah, there's honestly all the obtuse stuff you can get over pretty quickly. Like the stuff that you can't is like blacksmithing, you're like hammering out all the stuff. Alchemy, you're mixing things and stuff like that. Like you don't have to engage with those systems, but when you do engage with them, it's not like you can quickly button through it. You have to do all those steps. But as far as like save schnapps, I rarely do I use save schnapps. Like the only reason I would ever use it is like there's a bandit camp coming up or something, and I'm like, oh, let me drink this so I don't die. But you can basically anywhere you can sleep, you can save, like as long as you own the bed. Every inn, you're like, hey, can I sleep here for the night, or can I give you a few coins so I always have this hay in the barn? Like it is so and every time you quit the game, you save and quit. So it's extremely easy to get over that. it's so easy to get over. I don't understand why they have save schnapps. Is
I've
more
heard,
of the
I've
thing.
heard that as well. Yeah.
The only reason I can possibly think is so you're not save scumming, but I have like 40 things of save schnapps in my inventory. I'm not save scumming. Like, it's just not, I don't feel a need for it.
Yeah.
And also you can still just save and quit and save scum. It just is, you have to reopen the game. Like,
exactly. But yeah, it's just really good. It's gorgeous. Like I said multiple times, it's like it takes everything I loved about Oblivion and just it either meets it on Oblivion's level or surpasses it. Like characters just having conversations about stuff that like doesn't matter at all, but they're like having full-on conversations and then getting into fights and beating each other up, and then all the people go over to the guy who got beat up and they're like trying to wake him up and get him up so he can go like walk away. And just all these little interactions. I met a scholar today who I just... And the other thing in this game, the more you talk to people, the more you elevate your reputation, your scholarly skill, and you like get to know them better. So like they have a lot of dialogue options that don't mean anything, but your character's learning more stuff so he can bring it up in conversations later. And not in the way where you're like, oh, I now know this, I can choose this option, but in a way that like, hey, I want to pass this skill check, and that skill check, he's mentioning the thing he learned earlier to like get through the skill check, which is just cool because it feels 95% of the time it feels like everyone knows all the things that are happening all the time, and you don't get that weird stilted like your character doesn't know this information yet because they haven't gone to that spot. Like they make everything flow together in a way that doesn't pull you out. There was one quest I did where I needed to go get rid of a demon inside of a mine. And I got inside the mine, and it turned out to be a knight who was secretly charged to protect the mine from the pits of hell that had to open down there, and he had just gone crazy. So he was like chasing me in the mines, and I like finally found this note, and I was able to learn his name and his charge, so I told him I was here to replace him and that he no longer had to be down here, and he like disarmed, and like we worked it out from there, which was really neat. And then another cool thing is like there's huge epic medieval battles that happen as well. And like I was defending from a siege and pushing the ladders down and just like hacking at masses of guys who were trying to like get through a gate cool. And shoot stuff. So it's fun. It's I'm already super excited for whatever they're working on next. For their, I think they said there's going to be a third one. So I'm super excited to see where that goes. I might go back and play the first one. I played only like, I think I kickstarted the first one. But I only played maybe like 5 hours of it because I remember I got to the bow and arrow and I was like, oh, my character's terrible at this, and this is not the type of game I liked at the time. So I was like, I'm not playing this. That's not fun. So I did not play that.
I've also heard the first one just is not anywhere near as good as the second one.
Yeah, I remember the first one being rough, just rough. Like I only played about an hour or two of each of them, but the first one was rough, and the second one feels like it's just like easy onboarding in a great way.
The first one feels like
it would probably be hard to go back to the first one.
Yeah.
Did they? Sorry, just real quick. Did they announce, or is it still just a rumor that they're doing a remaster of the first one in the second engine, or is that still a rumor?
That might be a rumor. I just know, I believe they have hinted at working on a third one, which I think I assume this game ends like on sort of a cliffhanger.
Did really well, so
yeah. So I was just gonna say if they do a remaster of the first one, that's probably the better way to play it, because it feels like they learned a lot on the second one in terms of like, oh, we know what didn't work well with the players, we know what the pain points were, and we're gonna get rid of a lot of those and add some quality of life stuff, etc.
They did also learn that there are minorities even in the medieval times too. Good job on them. They learned that.
That's true. They did learn, but they're still struggling a bit with the lesson of like who to put in front of the camera and who to let talk to journalists. Feels like that bad guy is getting a little bit less press interviews, but I think he's still getting one or two, unfortunately.
Yeah. It felt like maybe one was more designed under his eye, where two is like, oh, we know we can make a game now. Like we're making this, like it's less. He's on every single decision that's being made.
And I feel like that just when you make a game as big as KCD2 is, like I feel like that just is how it has to be made, because it's too big to be there for everything.
It also just feels more AAA of a game, and I don't mean that in a derogatory sense, even though that does sound derogatory.
I mean, the first one wasn't, so I don't think that's derogatory at all.
It feels like a studio came in and was like, we're gonna take this game, but we're actually going to like make it more accessible and more polished, and everything's just gonna be at a slightly higher level than it was in the previous game. You know, how it feels, how it looks, how it plays, how it sounds, how the cutscenes are shot, how they're edited, how they're staged, just everything. And that was cool to see a sequel that actually takes it to the next level in terms of game making.
Yeah, it's great. I really, really, really like it. I'm gobsmacked how much I like it. Even still playing it, it's super fun. I think the completionist on how long to beat's like 160 hours or something.
Yeah,
for the main quest,
holy shit,
or like 100%.
No,
completionist. And I have been doing everything.
Crazy boy.
And that's not even my disease of doing everything. Like I'm playing. I'm not even mentioning it here, but I'm playing that Spyro remaster again. I'm just picking up where I left off, and I'm like collecting the 100% gems because I'm a sicko. But like in this game, I'm like, wait, I want to know what's happening here. I want to like stumble upon, like see what's happening. There's like one or two, I think there's sheep herding games that I didn't do on the first map because I was like, I don't think I need to, like, I don't need to do that weird mini game again. I'll be okay. But yeah, feels really good. Speaking of feeling really good, I'm gonna skip that one. Mind Mogul, Ian, you played Mind Mogul finally.
Yeah, this is the crack cocaine that Will kept teasing me with.
It's good.
I'm trying to remember how you put it. You kept saying you're playing a fantastic game that I would love, but you're not going to tell it to me because you know it would suck me in.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that. And then I hit a point maybe last week where I was like, I just said, hey, give me the crack cocaine. And you did. Can I say, there was actually two separate instances of self-restraint there. The one was understanding what you were trying to say and waiting until the right time to ask for the name of the game. The second self-restraint was actually before that, which is that in a moment of weakness, I realized I could just go through your profiles. I think it was on Discord or Steam, and just be like, "What is this fucker been playing?"
That's what I thought you were gonna say. You did, yeah.
And I did do that, and I looked at it, and then I was like, "Will's right. This is crack cocaine. I have to wait."
Yeah,
I have to wait.
Just pulled this up to take a look at it on Steam. And
It's
I'm like,
okay. Here's the thing.
This is some Ian and Will bullshit.
It's very, very good. It is pretty early access, but I feel like if you're going to play it, before 1.0, now is the time to play it because it's in a single map. I beat it in about 10 hours. Not fully complete it, but like you get to a point at the end where the quests are just like, hey, you know how to make everything. Now just literally sit here and make 5,000 of everything. And I didn't do that, but I beat it in about 10 hours. It is basically like MVP in like product terms, like minimum viable product, but it's one map. There's definitely ways they can improve it. There's branches they could go down. There's minecart tracks everywhere that they're not using right now that I'm like, ooh, I can't wait for them to add that. So yeah, I mean, look, you're digging through a mine, you're selling what you find, but then you can also set up automated miners that dump onto a conveyor belt. But then those, you can sell the ore, or you can crush the ore to make more money, or you can take the crushed ore and smelt it into ingots, and then you can form the ingots into plates, and you can polish all of that. So you're trying to get more money. And then as you're racking up money, you're buying more machines. And then there's quests, which are like, build 30 iron plates, and that gets you that. It's really cool. It does all of that really well, right? But none of that is unique. The thing for me that is really fucking unique about this game and is fucking wild to me is that it's physics based.
Yeah.
And so what that means, what that fucking means is that as the items are dropping on the conveyor belt, they are physically taking up space on the conveyor belt. So you have to be careful. If you overload a conveyor belt, it will spill over the sides, or as it dumps into another machine, it will back up that machine and start overflowing the machine. So literally you will have chunks of rock overflowing the machine. Or if you have one conveyor belt dropping a certain height onto another conveyor belt, you have to add some restrictions or some things. Otherwise, it may occasionally fall too far, go horizontally too far and miss the conveyor belt or bounce weird. And so I literally got to this point where this was late game and I had like a 3-story structure, and on the 3rd floor of the structure was making all these steel plates or iron plates and rods. And I went off elsewhere and I did a bunch of shit, and then I came back and there was literally like 500 iron plates and rods, a pyramid of them that had backed up and fallen off the 3rd floor and cascaded and made a giant 3-story pile covering all my machines. So the machines are still working, but it's just this giant fucking pile. And I had to go around, and thankfully you have like an atomic heart / gravity gun type thing where you can be like, you can just kind of suck up a bunch of stuff into a ball and then carry that around and drop it somewhere. So I was literally like taking big scoops of this pile and just dropping it on a conveyor belt just to get it out of there. And it took me like 30 minutes to clean up literally a 3-story pyramid of just shit that overloaded. It's that single idea of like, no, it's physics based. Like, it's a conveyor belt is not just a contained object. Like, shit will overflow or go weird, is so fucking good. I cannot wait for this game to hit 1.0. Highly recommend buying it and playing it right now. And I'm super excited to see the development of it. It's really good.
It's I forget how I said it. It's like currently in its state. It's just like a mini like Factorio. Like, there's not too much to do. There's like 4 or 5 main things you make, and it's just easy to get in. It's pretty stress free because like you end up making so much money that like the money doesn't really matter as much.
Yeah,
you can just buy things, set up things away. Like, I'm in the middle of my 3rd base redesign. And that's in Factorio, that's a huge no. Like, in Satisfactory, like keep adding all, like build new somewhere else. Don't replace the thing. But here it's like, oh, I'm fine. Like, I can turn off the machines for a bit. Like, that's a little bit of a hassle currently, but like I can break everything down and come up with a new way of like doing all this stuff. And it's fun. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
I really was afraid you, for some reason, didn't like it. And I was like, why?
The problem was I liked it. I liked it too much. I think I have, I'll look up the time right now. I literally played it over 2 days.
I think it was 11 hours. I checked today when I played.
And
I only have like 4 hours in it.
Yeah, 11 hours. And I've basically beaten the game. Like I said, I've just gotten to the end quest, which are literally like, it kind of turns into an idle game at the end. Yeah. Where it's literally just like, I have everything being mined, everything automated. I just have to sit there and wait for it to make 5,000 of these items, and I'm not going to do that. So it really is at a perfect moment where this is interesting to you. Go ahead and buy it, play it now. It's got enough of that core gameplay loop there that you're going to love it, but it's not going to take forever to beat it. And then you can come back in 1.0 in a year or two, and it'll probably be just a drastically changed, drastically improved game.
Yeah, like they just added walled mergers like the other day. So like they're already adding more stuff to it, and they have like dev stuff in the game. Like, you can purchase this dev thing to make like dev tools and stuff, which is super fun. So it's such a killer idea, and it's like like release it like this and have people play it because it's sickening. It's great.
Permission to shit on
as well.
Your Honor, permission to shit on a related game.
Yeah, sure. For now, but discretion.
I played a game on Game Pass recently because everybody was talking about it last year, and I didn't realize it was on Game Pass, and I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I'm in the mood for this. I played a game about digging a hole.
I heard a lot of people like that.
Yeah, they're fucking idiots, and it's not because the game's bad. It's because, how do I put this? It'd be like if somebody was like, hey, have you heard about this Minecraft game? Like, they let you craft things and you can like punch blocks. And the thing about the game about digging a hole is that it's very simplistic. And it's basically just like, you dig, you find things, you sell them to get money, to buy more tools, to do more digging. And that's the core gameplay loop. They're not doing anything interesting, new or unique about that. That like basic idea has been in indie games for years now, and it's been in Roblox games for like 10 fucking years now. So I was expecting this game to do something interesting or unique like Mine Mogul, where like the core of it is just like, hey, it's the same game you've been playing, but really well done. Plus, we have this really unique thing on top of it. A game about digging a hole has zero fucking interesting things about it. It's also a complete game, and it took me like, I think it took me an hour and 15 minutes to beat it. Like it's paper fucking thin. And
I mean, that doesn't mean the game's bad, but yeah.
no, and I'm not saying the game's bad. It's just that I am surprised how much positive buzz that game because you can find a million of those games all over the place.
I'm so sorry. I wrote a stream title debate Drake, and it worked. I'm so excited.
Transformers talk tonight.
Yeah. Oh,
So anyways, yeah.
Sorry.
If you have Game Pass, go ahead and play a game about digging a hole. I don't think it's worth the $5 on Steam, and don't believe the hype people are talking about it. There's a million of games like those where something like Mind Mogul actually is taking a standard formula and doing something new with it.
So you're mad that the game titled A Game About Digging a Hole was in fact a game about digging a hole.
No,
I'm
it's
mad
more
about
of like
how much people are talking about it. I'm mad about the mainstream media being like, this is such a cool game. It's only $5. And I play it and I'm like, this is the same fucking game we've had for 10 years.
It's because the title's funny and it's easy to talk about virally because you understand why it's funny immediately. And the game's basic ass. Like, it's just a game about digging a hole. What's it about? It's about digging a hole. Like that sort of back and forth. And like it just went viral. I don't think it's very good either. And the ending's stupid.
I think I'm just mad that it went viral.
It went viral. I only got the vibe that Giant Bomb played this game and no one else cared.
It went pretty like all the streamers were playing it. Like that kind of
streamers were playing it. Yeah.
Twitch up.
Yeah. So like I understand why, because it's a funny thing to stream. It's a funny thing to talk about, but yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, it's
not a good game.
Yeah, and sorry, that's not necessarily to throw that game under. It's just to point towards Mind Mogul and say like, hey, that's a tiny indie game that is actually expanding on something that is established in as like a micro genre, as opposed to just doing the same thing. They're actually pushing the boundaries there. That's what makes Mind Mogul so exciting.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. That was a brief stop in Ian Land. I also booted up Star Fox Adventures on my GameCube. I don't know why. Like last week, I thought of Star Fox Adventures, not Starfuck Adventures. That's a private tape that I
what you want to do to Crystal, though.
Yeah, I was like, were you thinking about the game or one character from it, buddy?
Ooh, Rule34.com. Or .XXX. Actually, it's .com. I don't know if it's .XXX. I'm making that up.
I was just about to ask, is .com a domain? I'm going to look that up.
We looked that up.
Probably not.
But yeah,
just because it'd be too easy for people to hijack.
My way of remembering things is I just open a new tab in my phone's Chrome and then Google it. And then later on, I come back to it. And so I did that. And I was like, okay, I'll play it now. So I finally, on my CRT, I cleaned it up. I got my, what's it called? Rolling cart with my CRT on it in VCR. Put my GameCube and my PS2 with their SD cards and hard drives in them. And I've just been playing games. And, Star Fox Adventures is on the list currently, as is Dynasty Warriors. I downloaded all 6 Dynasty Warriors, or 5
my God.
Dynasty Warriors on the PS2.
I don't think you needed that.
And I'm like, I don't know. When one's not fun, I'll just switch to the next one. And Star Fox Adventure is good. They have their own invented language in the whole fucking beginning of the game, where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then they say English words in the translation. Sorry, you were saying.
What if they made an American Dynasty Warriors?
In
like,
schools?
what are the great scenes of American history? Like January 6th, and you have to fight through the crowd, like
Civil War.
What are the great American myths? Yeah.
Dropping Dynasty. The bombs.
Oh my God.
9/11.
Civil War battlefields. There'd be a lot. That's a good idea.
Yeah. It's not, but
it's a great idea.
Dynasty Warriors America. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not super far into it, but it's fun to play old games, especially from that era. And it looks like fun. I can definitely see the dinosaur game. I have yet to meet Mr. Star Fox. Other than the main menu of this game is like in the bridge of whatever Star Fox is, the cornucopia.
Yeah. I forget the Shit.
It's in the bridge of that. So like when you go to options, it like goes over to Peppy and his little station, and when you go to language, it goes to another guy's station. And it's just one of those fucking great
that's
menus
cool.
where like the continue game is like Star Fox at his command center. I thought about like recording it for a bit and then just having that as a loop for stuff. It's fun. It's cool. And then finally, I spent a while on a boss in Fusion, Metroid Fusion. Back on my Fusion. I'm fusing in Metroid Fusion.
Ooh.
Instead of
Also that thing,
doing
yeah.
what I normally do, which is brute force my way through boss fights, I like learned the boss's pattern and shot it and killed it, and it felt really good. So that game's really good. I like it. That's all the games I've been playing this week. Ian Gibson, what have you been playing?
Hi. I've been playing a lot. Been trying to catch up on some GOTY potentials from last year and kind of looking at what I want to play, stuff on my list that was on sale on Steam, etc. First of all, I played Blippo Plus. Either of you guys tried Blippo Plus?
No, I would never.
No, that's very much not a game for me, but
It's disgusting.
It's
the concept looks cool.
It's not a game. I don't mean to get into that argument. It's basically, for those who don't know, you are basically watching you've captured an intergalactic satellite TV signal. And so you literally have a cable guide and you're scrolling through the channels, and each channel has 5 to 6 shows. Each show's like 20 to 30 seconds, and they kind of loop. So you can basically sit on a channel for like 3 or 4 minutes, and then it loops, and then you go to the next channel. And I think there's 10 channels, but one of them's a text channel. Some of the channels don't work. There's a porn channel, which is all scrambled. But
can you sometimes see a booby?
No. I tried to take a screenshot of it, but I missed it, so I could send it to the Subpixel Discord. I forget what it's called, but it's something like one of the shows on there, because I saw it through the scramble, was called like Illicit Connections or something, and it was just somebody plugging like an old DVI and FireWire connectors together. And to be clear, the shows are all a majority of them are FMV. Some of them are old graphics, just graphics based. But I heard this. I don't know if it's 100% true, but the thing that I heard, again, I didn't confirm this, is that all of it was shot and edited on 80s era video technology. So it looks like you are watching cable TV in the early 80s. So it's got some weird talk shows, etc. But it's all from some other galaxy or whatever. So they're speaking English, but they have different words and different things. And then what's cool about it is that there's like a story that slowly develops where basically they have become aware that their TV signal is reaching out to us. So like they'll have a talk show where they're just like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? I forget what they call it, like the void or something. Like, what do you think about this void that the scientists are talking about? Who's out there listening? Are they watching right now? So it's like all these different shows like slowly reacting to this. And once you watch, I don't know what the limit is, but it's like once you watch like 75% of the content, you get a message on your cable box that's like, hey, there's a new packet available for you. And you load that packet, and it basically is new episodes of all the shows. Because this originally came out on the Playdate, which is weird that it came out in black and white on the little Playdate device. And like every 2 weeks or something, they would release a new content pack, which is basically like it's like catching you up. It's like, hey, here's a brand new refresh of all the shows, and it's like some indiscriminate amount of time later, like usually a couple days later. So they'll be like, in the second packet, they're like, scientists have decided they're going to send out bendonauts into the bend to see who's listening on the other side, and it's like, and like the story evolves like that. I'm probably about 2/3 of the way through it. It's great to just throw it on and just sit there like slack-jawed to all this weird stuff. It's great. It honestly reminds me a lot of SBC, which is our fake TV channel show that we've done a couple times, where it really is just a bunch of weird stuff, a lot of people playing around, a lot of cool actors just living it up. And even if you don't like something, it only lasts 20 seconds, and then you can just move on to the next one. So it's a very cool experience. It's not a game at all, though. It's more just like interactive media, but it's very, very, very cool. Highly recommend that if you're into anything like that. The other game I played Autonauts. This came out a couple years ago. This is a Factorio. Like, you guys heard of this game, Autonauts? I don't know if you guys are sickos like me, where you have an extremely large Steam wish list. I think mine is over 250 games now.
I think mine's like 100 or something. Not quite. It's quite your level of sicko.
It's too big, quite frankly. But Autonauts is one of those games that was on my wish list. It kept coming up on sale, and then finally I looked at it and I was like, yeah, I'm in the mood for this. So this is a Factorio like. It's a little cutesy. So you're running around and harvesting items and putting them up. But what it does interesting and unique is that the automation it gives you from the start is not conveyor belts, it's bots. And so you build a bot and then you give the bot basic programming instructions. And the way you start it is you click the record button, and then like you go and you click the record button on the bot, and then you go and pick up a log and move to a pallet and put the log on the pallet, and then you hit stop. And it will record those actions for the bot, but then you will see it in a list where it's like, go to this zone, look for log, pick up log, take log to other, go to other zone, place log in container. And then it'll just loop that. And from what I can see, the instructions can get pretty complex. And I've played a couple hours of it, and it's pretty interesting because you start to get crafting where you're like, hey, I'm going to have one bot deliver the raw materials to this crate. The second bot is going to take materials from the crate and build hammers and put the hammers in a crate until this other crate is full. So it basically sets a limit of like 10. But anytime that goes below, anytime there's room in the crate, he's going to make more hammers. And then it has this weird like civilization system where I just started making people, which involves you like taking seeds out of a machine and feeding the seeds. So then it makes a little baby, and then you feed the baby food, and the baby makes hearts, and the hearts are a resource. So it's got this weird aesthetic, and I don't know.
I hate don't the know. Question I'm about to ask. So like, are you harvesting the hearts of children, or are they like?
Well, but it's like it's like emojis where it's like you feed them and they go yay, and then little hearts pop out on the ground around them.
Oh, okay, so it's like love power, not
child
their
labor.
Actual child hearts.
No. Okay, that would be too cool for this game. What do you think this is? Frostpunk? No, but the other thing is I'm not harvesting it. I've got bots now, so I have a bot that just goes around and picks up hearts. Yeah, the robot's doing it. So it's pretty cool in that it's doing that. I have kind of burned out on it. After a couple hours because it is a bit fiddly with how you interact with stuff, and the bots. It's kind of annoying that they show you the bot instructions, but from what I can tell, it's not easy for you to go in there and just manually add the instructions. Like there's a way to do it, but it's too fiddly. They really want you to hit record and you do the action instead. Whereas I would like the option to do both, like record for the easy stuff, but then let me get in there and let me start making some weird fucking nested if then loops, type stuff. Which it will allow you to do that, but you have to do it through a record and then edit and record and edit. So it's a little weird. So yeah, if you're into that, if you're looking for one of those like cutesy survival crafting games and got some like basic bot programming, Autonauts is pretty cool. Yes.
How I know I'm a sicko is you were playing this and I saw you playing this and I went and bought it. Sight unseen. I just went and bought it. I said, Autonauts sounds like something I'd like. I just went and bought it.
Look at it. You saw the title and
yeah.
It was like $5.
I did. This is a token of my affection. What was the first thing I did when I looked at that game was I scrolled down and I was like, does this have
I did it with Mind Mogul as well.
It did not. And it didn't. And I was like, okay, I can play this. I can play
my lover play this with me? Let me check.
This next game, though, this is for you, Will. Have you heard of Master of Command?
Yes, you did that picture during the Steam sale, and you were like, "This is what's in my cart," and I'm like, "That looks fucking awesome." And so then I looked it up, and I was staring at it, and I said, "I can't right now, but I can't wait to hear Ian talk about it."
Oh,
it's pretty good.
Maybe up my alley.
Yeah, so the way to describe it is it is a 1700s Total War like, in that the battles are Total War-esque, in which you have units and you're a general and you're deploying the units and then maneuvering them around the battlefield. However, when it zooms out and kind of goes to the 4X level, it's run based, and it's a little weird. Where basically, when you do your run, there's a series of missions, and so your first mission, you are on a map. The map is not super big, but let's say there's 5 or 6 towns on there. And they're basically like, hey, there's a timer. The timer's running. The timer's pretty long, though. And they're like, you need to, by the end of this, defeat the headquarters on the edge of the map. And you can run around the map. You can go into towns. It's kind of like Mountain Blade, where you're basically running around the map and there's patrols and enemy units, and you run into them and you do a battle. And then when you come out of it, you can go to town. You can get supplies and stuff from them. You go to town and you can purchase units or upgrade your items and things like that. So you're kind of running around this map, Mountain Blade style, building up your army, making it better and better and better, and then going to face the headquarters battle. So, for example, when I started, I think I had, let's say I had 1,000 units in my army, like 1,000 soldiers across, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 units. And the headquarters guy was like 14,000 soldiers. So I had to build myself up and get to a point where I had like 10,000 soldiers and I felt good enough to take him on. And so each of your units, you're deciding what type of units they are, whether you buy them or upgrade them. Like you can have just a basic unit that you can then upgrade into cavalry or cannons or, Jaegers or however you want to do it. They also have item slots. So you can go and purchase better muskets. You can also purchase bonuses for them where it's like, hey, this unit has +3 morale or +4 stability, +5 accuracy, things like that. So there's a lot of fiddliness you can get in there. The battles are actually really good. It's these types of games are always a little, there's like a knife's edge, right? Because you want it to be challenging, but you don't want to get your ass beat automatically by the AI. You want there to be a morale system where you can break the enemy morale, or your units can have their morale broken because you put them in a bad spot. But you don't want it to be too easy to break the enemy morale. You don't want your units to get automatically broken all the time, So the actual battle system in this feels very, very good. I'm positioning like units on hills, or I'm putting them behind fences and positioning them so the enemy has to march across an open field, and I have cover, which gives my lower tier units more morale to maintain their position. And I'm like flanking with the cavalry and doing cavalry charges and breaking units, and it feels pretty good. It feels so good that the first time I played it, I just played like 4 hours straight. Like I was like, one more turn, one more battle. Oh, let me go over here, one more battle. And it's very, very good. I will say though, it does have some limitations. It's not in early access, but from what I can tell, all the battles are basically on the same. The battlefields are procedurally generated, but it's like the same terrain basically. So it's not like you're going to fight in the winter. All of it feels like basically like Western European farmland. So you're going to have some hills, you're going to have some farmhouses, you're going to have some woods, you're going to have a river, you're going to have some bridges, but they change, but you're not really going to get outside of that. And it's not like Total War where you can kind of position yourself on the overworld to have an advantage. There's a river on the overworld, so I'm going to be on one side of it and then initiate a battle, and that will go into the actual battle map. It doesn't do that. It's also, the items can be a bit too fiddly. Like there's a fuckload of items and you're constantly picking up items, and each of them have like stat bonuses and buffs, and you're juggling them between the units. You don't have to go deep into that system, but it can be a bit overwhelming at times doing that. And there's not a whole lot of unit variety. But that being said, something I only dove into a little bit is there are country varieties. So like I think the generic starting one I think is either Austrian or Prussian. And they're like, hey, these are basic units. They're good all-arounders. But you can pick other countries to play as. And they're like, hey, this country has very good cavalry and weak infantry, and that leads into how you play it. So it's totally understandable as an indie game why it doesn't have a huge amount of depth in some of the areas. But that being said, I still played like 10 hours of this game. I've done like 2 or 3 runs of it. It's, if you're into that type of like line and musket and Total War style, line and musket era and Total War style fighting, it's very good. Highly recommend Master of Command.
couple screenshots of the combat definitely give me like Empire Total War vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
It's good.
looking at
it's really good.
looking at the patch notes, they're like adding and changing stuff like an early access game as well. Like they're like full on being like, oh, here's the beta with. It seems like they're adding engineers or something. And then
that's
like,
crazy.
oh, this is like there's a Steam Workshop system now. They're like, oh, here's how the new AI works. Here's literally like here are the map changes. It wasn't properly generating the maps earlier, like before, and all that sort of stuff. So it seems it's like definitely way more active development I would expect for a full release. So
yeah. I've been bouncing between these types of games because between all the Napoleon talk of the last couple of years and watching Ken Burns Civil War recently, I'm like, yeah, give me some line and musket shit. That's what I'm digging right now. So there may be more of these games coming.
Yeah, I have a couple of those types sitting on my Steam installed, and I'm like, maybe it's time to play like a Total War. Like I have like Cossacks 2.
As we're talking, I'm like,
wait, what do I play?
don't I go pick Empire Total War back up?
For some reason, I have Total Warhammer
Napoleon Total War is good.
1 or 2, or not 3 on Epic.
3 was just free on Epic.
Okay, so I have that now on Epic.
No. It was free on Epic at some point. The Chinese one was just free on Epic.
Oh, Three Kingdoms. Yes, I did pick that up.
Three Kingdoms, that's the one.
I picked that up, and I picked up Viewfinder, which I can finally play now.
Oh, yeah, Viewfinder's great.
Play it on mute. Play it on mute, though. That's my recommendation.
It's not that bad.
Why is it woke?
No,
the one I will tell you,
the voice acting at the beginning is kind of rough.
The one I do want to play, I'm going to look it up real quick. Do you guys remember the? I can't remember the series that did it, but basically there was some RTS series that there was a modder who got very popular because he made very, very good AI mods that people would install in this RTS game, and it made the AI much more realistic and much more challenging.
I don't know which one that is.
This was a while ago. So anyways, they released a game a while ago called Ultimate General Gettysburg, and in 2014, and I downloaded that and played it a long time ago, but I've been playing a little bit of it lately, and it's pretty simple. It's just the Gettysburg battles, like the 3 days, but it's so good because like the AI feels really good and dynamic, like they're actually changing their strategy based on what's going on in the battle. But the other thing it does really well, and when it started doing this in Ultimate General Gettysburg, I was super surprised by it, which is, you know how in most Total War games, like when your unit breaks, like when your unit has their morale crushed and they start running away, they run away like to the edge of the map, you know, like they either leave, or if they gather their wits and come back to you, it's at the edge of the map. So they'll run for like forever, which I don't think is that realistic, or at least in the Civil War, it was not that realistic, because in Gettysburg, what they do is if your unit breaks, especially if it's the first or second time that it breaks, they will just retreat like 200 yards and then reform. So which is real. You know, they would have a charge and they would try and do it, and then they would kind of back up and reform. So you get this dynamic battle where it's like, oh, I broke their unit. Oh, but shit, they reformed. Oh, but now they're having to change their whole battle strategy around their new formation based on where that unit broke. Oh, let me press forward a little bit. So it felt really good. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because that developer, Game Labs, has a new game out called Ultimate General American Revolution.
Whoa.
And they had a previous game called Ultimate General Civil War, which is, it looks like the same line and musket type battles plus a 4X map where you're going through America, whether the Civil War or the American Revolution, and like trying to do like the map based strategy and then going into the battles from there. So I may end up picking up one of those because just based on what I played of Gettysburg, it was very good.
Call me when they do the Napoleonic Wars, and then I'll be there. I'll be there and I'll be feasting, but call me. Hey, what?
Guess what?
What? They're working on it?
They are. I'm trying to find the official news, but that was the other thing, was that they recently announced that they are making a new game that is going to be, I don't know if it's Napoleonic or if it's 7 Years' War in the 1700s, but basically the same.
How dare you? Is it the Peninsular
That's
War?
why I got into it. That's why it popped in my head
Part of
recently
me
was
thought
because I
you
saw
were
that
gonna
news.
part of me thought you were just gonna respond with they already have one, and Will would just disappear
No.
midstream.
I would end the stream.
No, they're working on it. Yeah. So, and then the final game I've been playing, I'll talk about this briefly because there's only one thing that I really love about it, and I just like we just did. I need some recommendations from you guys on similar games. Have you guys heard of the game, the World War II shooter Enlisted?
No.
I'm glad because okay, look, here's the thing. I'm just going to say this right off the bat.
Recommendations.
Enlisted is a fucking Gaijin game, okay? And Gaijin are the same people that make War Thunder. And basically that means it's free to play, but it's riddled with fucking microtransactions, and it has literally like 27 currencies, and they want you to upgrade and rank up, aka pay to boost your individual soldiers, your units, your vehicles, your tech, your weapons, etc.
Don't see a problem.
That being said, oh buddy, it's a fucking nightmare in that game trying to get through the menu. That being said, the gameplay is pretty good, and basically the gameplay is that you are playing, it's either 12v12 or 16 versus 16 World War II FPS, just basic round based stuff. But each person comes in with like 4 or 5 squads in their inventory, in their library. And the squads can just be infantry. They can be like medic. They can be sniper. They can be a tank. They can be even a plane. And you pick one of those squads and you spawn with them. And you have like 3 or 4 AI guys with you. So you're running around. You can give them orders. They're with you. You're shooting people. If you die, but a squad mate is still up, you can quick swap to that squad mate and keep playing. Once your whole squad is dead, you can then respawn in with another one of your squads. And each of your squads is on a timer, so you can't just keep respawning as the same squad. Like that squad, you know, if it's a really good squad, it may be 4 or 5 minutes before you can respawn in it or whatever it is. But it's a really cool where you end up with this like, it's like Battlefield type gameplay. It's not quite as big, but it's Battlefield type gameplay, but where it's PvPvE, where you have 24 real players around, but there's probably like 80 players on the map and a majority of them are AI. So it feels so fucking good to just sit there and just mow down AI enemy players and occasionally kill an enemy player and have these different squads you can swap around in. So the gameplay feels really good. It's just the wrong fucking developer. Yeah. It's not even really the monetization. It's that it's fucking menu barf, and they're just constantly shoving all these different. It's inscrutable, literally inscrutable, how you're supposed to play this game and level up your guys and unlock new squads or whatever. But that being said, I realized I love playing online shooters, but where it's either a team of humans versus a team of AI, or it's intermixed humans and AI bots. I just love that way more. Yeah, like way more than just a straight PvP. So I'm curious if, like you mentioned Titanfall, like what other games have that mode explicitly? Like I think they're trying to add it. I think Battlefield 6 recently added it as an option.
Did Bad Company 2 have it? Or am I misremembering?
They may have had servers where it was like...
Yeah, I mean, like you could fight against bots and stuff in the Battlefield games.
Yeah, and do servers.
Easily.
I feel like that is a genre that somebody could come in there and make fantastic
realistically,
one.
you could probably go into the custom server list for Battlefield 6. I bet
Battlefield 6,
something like that up.
I would play the shit out of a game that was like a good PvE war game, like where I knew I didn't have the anxiety of facing humans. I knew I was facing bots and all their whatever bullshit's associated with that, but I knew like it's more like a Call of Duty campaign I'm playing with my friends rather than a multiplayer game. I mean that's
but I think
I was gonna say if you want that, old Medal of Honor games are kind of that's what you're looking for.
I do like the idea of like 25% of the other team are players, because there is a really good feeling when you kill a real player. When you're like just killing bots and then you see some guy jumping around and you're like, that's a real player. Fuck. fuck you, and you're just like, got him, baby. And so like, I will say in Enlisted, your AI teammates are dumb as shit. They're really bad, which it feels good to kill them when they're on the other team, but there's no point in giving your own squad orders because they're just fucking worthless, right? I feel like that is something that a AAA studio or even in any studio, somebody could come in there and make a game specifically designed around. It is PvP, but every person has a 3 or 4 unit squad with them, and your squad mates are actually good, and there's actually a good order system that you can give them that they will follow and support you in various ways. Like if somebody just made a good, solid type of that fucking game, that would kill. That would be amazing.
Only other series I can even think of is SOCOM, which is not that.
Yeah, but just imagine like 96 players on the map, only 24 of them are real players, you know? And each person has a 3-unit squad with them. And the squad mates, honestly, bring in the AI shit they keep talking about where you can just talk to them and they understand. You're like, hey, go take that red building. And they're like, yep, on it. Well, instead of having to fiddle with the fucking UI or something, you know, like that is a subgenre that could be super fucking huge in FPS if somebody just nailed it. And I love playing that subgenre when I find it. So that's just why I bring up Enlisted. There's such a cool concept there, and they're basically ruining it. And I want somebody else to take ownership of it.
Yeah, I mean, the only other PvP VE thing that I think is popping off is Arc Raiders. That's kind of, it doesn't have the squad piece to it, but like,
yeah,
it has the environment. You can team up with people. You can choose to shoot them, whatever you want to do. But
yeah, it's just a shame the shooting feels terrible in that game.
I haven't played it, so I don't know.
My issue with that game is like I don't like the anxiety of extraction shooters.
Yeah.
Like like I think it plays really well, and I think it shoots pretty well, and like fighting the bots and stuff. But at the end of the day, where it's like I have all this anxiety about all the loot I have, and I have to get out of here and talk to other people, like I don't want to deal with that. So it's annoying.
That's how I feel about those games. Really.
Yeah. Yep. I will say, Ian, here, there's a review for Enlisted on Steam from Trash Person, saying 4 hours in this game makes me hate my entire existence. Do not play it if you value your sanity. Definitely play it if you're a masochist. And they're definitely a masochist because since posting that, they've played 3.2 more hours of the game.
That's the thing is like once a year I pop into Enlisted. I play it for about 2 hours over a week, just when I'm just like, let me put on a podcast. Let me just like shoot some Germans for a while, you know, and it feels good.
All the negative reviews. One negative review has 31 hours. Another negative review, 69 hours. This huge, like boosted negative review has 147 hours. Like what?
Hey, sometimes people that love a thing the most are the ones that hate it the most.
See, that's the problem with like World of Tanks, War Thunder, this Enlisted, is that the core gameplay is actually really good. World of Warships is very fucking good and fun to play. They've just ruined everything around it, and it sucks. That being said, War Thunder is adding infantry recently, so I'm excited for that to come out of beta. That could be fun. That could be what I'm looking for. I don't know if they have squads or not.
Great.
Imagine not.
Those are the games we've been playing. That's right. Yeah. Well, Mind Moguls at the bottom. Before, we don't usually do news anymore in this show, but so I'm gonna hit this news beat because I saw it. I just saw it, and you guys are getting so excited. That's right, folks. God. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is now on the Nintendo Switch Online GameCube.
Yes.
I'm so fucking pumped about that.
No, my physical copies might go down in value.
That's exactly the point. Hell yeah. I'm it's news for Kyle, so hopefully that makes its way back to Kyle. And I'm very excited. I played through this game a year ago. And I want to play through it. Yeah. It was after Fired. I want to say it was after Fired Emblem. It was the game
this was not for content because Kyle played it for content.
Kyle played it for content. This is the game I would occasionally stream to Jason, and we would play together. God. And then I moved on to Radiant Dawn, and that's the famous one where I skipped a cutscene, and Jason goes, "You don't normally do that, right?" And I go, "No." I never skip cutscenes.
No,
of
father.
course not. I would never.
Oh my God.
But honestly, at this point, I could be like, oh yeah, I need to go play Radiant Dawn because it's the one I'm on next. But I'm like, no, I kind of want to replay This is the great one with the heron guy and all that shit. It's so much fun.
Is this
Yeah.
where Ike comes from?
Radiant Dawn has a pretty rough start, so like I get
Yeah.
that.
I'm just excited now that I like Fire Emblem that more people can also like Fire Emblem.
A new Fire Emblem game coming later this year, probably.
Yeah, it looks good. I forgot about that.
What's that one
Does look
called?
good.
Who?
Fortune's Weave.
Fortune's Weave. I know. I keep thinking about picking up N-Gage.
You know,
Story
Engage is
terrible,
solid.
gameplay fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but if
it's
you're
pretty
skipping
anime.
cutscenes
but
anyway, it
solid
doesn't matter.
Although I'm like, it's weird. After playing, and I need to play more of this, but I probably won't because I'm trying to be a good boy about stopping playing games. I got like 10 or 15 hours into the Ivalice Chronicles Final Fantasy, the remake, and I'm enjoying it, but it's just like with the job system and everything, it's just too much for me on a tactical.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the type of person who's like, I need to train up
Stop
this
now.
job and be that person.
Stop now.
Yeah.
Stop now.
So I'm like,
It only gets worse on that
I
stuff. the longer
know,
the game
and people talking about that sort of
because
stuff.
you will hit a boss fight that will make you want to die, and then you go and
Oh, I'm
grind
on a
your
boss
jobs.
fight that makes me want to die at these windmills. So
oh yeah, that's not even the one I'm talking about.
it's a super fun game, and it's the other problem is it's extremely fucking engaging with the new voice acting and everything. It's like so good, and I'm like, I want to know more about this.
Just watch a playthrough.
Yeah,
Put it on the side. while you
that's
do
the right way to do it. That's one I'm more comfortable dropping.
If you're
because it's
annoyed
just
now,
like-
you're gonna be more annoyed.
Yeah,
I probably
I know.
spent a dozen hours just having my people hit each other with rocks to get
It's
job points. Like
it's tactical games and
literally.
tactical games and JRPGs. I've been trying to get more into because it's a genre I know I'm not that into, and I like want to find the ones that work for me, and I know they're out there. I don't think Expedition 33 is the greatest example of it, but like I loved Expedition 33 and played through that whole game. So like, and I love the 30 hours, 40 hours I put into Metaphor. So it's like
Didn't
there's
Dragon
stuff
Quest
out
7
there.
just get that?
Oh, and
Didn't
I
I just
beat
get the
Dragon
demo
Quest
today?
8. Dragon Quest 8 on
Oh yeah.
on 3DS I played, which is super fun. So they're out there. Legend of Legaia, I say no to the tree every time. It just won't let me play the game.
Dragon Quest 7 reimagined demo came out yesterday.
Yeah, maybe I'll play that. You know what? Go fuck you, Ian. I have way too many games to play.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. I actually do
You
have a
just
bunch of games
asked
to get
for.
through. Shut the fuck up, David. It's time, folks, for our discussion topic of the week. If you've been watching any of these episodes or listening with your ear holes, you will have known that we have been doing retro game of the years. This week, the year 2021, folks. That's right, a year that was only 5 years ago now, just 20 years after 9/11, in case you've been counting, and yeah, just what a tragedy 20 years was. This was one of the first Subpixel game of the years. It was the first of the new format.
This was the first one.
Was it the first one?
No.
Oh, yes, it was the first one.
Very first
because
one.
we were surprised because we all agreed on a game.
Yeah, we each came
Out
with
the
our
gate.
top 3 just to discuss them, just to be like, here's the top 3 games I love this year, and then we all picked the same number 1, and so by the end of the stream, we were literally like, we weren't planning on it, but we did pick a one game of the year for Subpixel.
Yeah, it was. I think had Kyle not played it yet, but he was like, "Oh, I think it will be." Like he could see it as a number one. I thought someone hadn't played it.
Jake hadn't played it.
Oh yeah, it was Jake. Was that it?
Whereas, yeah, but
That's
hey,
wild.
no spoilers. No spoilers.
Oh.
We're not going to mention the game yet.
Oh yeah. David, why don't you toss us off? I couldn't possibly think of what a 2021 game for you could be.
Toss me off.
Because Tales of Symphonia came out in 2004.
Yeah, I
but
feel like every time I get invited to do the game of the year stuff, it's like, hey, please come with a sacrifice.
Yeah.
yeah, please.
Sorry.
The sacrifice for 2021 is Psychonauts 2. Psychonauts 2 absolutely rules. It came out almost, I think, was it 15? No, 2005. 16 years after the first Psychonauts game. Spent a while in what I thought was going to be developer hell. Double Fine got bought by Xbox during the development, and like I was super worried at that time. Like, oh no, is the game going to come out? Is it going to be good? And it came out, and it was fantastic. It straddled the line, not quite as well as the first one, but it's a hard line to straddle of like being interesting and having all of these psychological issues that characters have and dealing with them in a way that over the past 15 years had significantly changed, but being funny and having like teeth with it, with how it deals with some of the psychological issues, and like going in and going into different characters' brains and having everyone's brain be and their essentially trauma be a different platforming level for you to go figure out and heal them, which was much less heal them than the first game, which is probably good. Because the first game we're like, you're all better now, and they were not.
That's how mental health works.
That's how mental health works. But just the platforming, if you go back and play the original Psychonauts, that shit can be rough, as I know Will is aware of, particularly the meat circus. I had a coworker talk to me about the meat circus just earlier this week, because my profile picture on Slack at work is Raz, the main character, and we were in like a one-on-one, and he's like, oh man, I played Psychonauts recently. Is it just me, or is like that last level really rough? And I was like, it's not just you. That level fucking sucks. Sometimes I replay the game, get to that level, and stop, and don't finish it.
This is the worst. I feel like I'm okay at platformers, but that section was the worst.
That was rough. God. But they took a game that had pretty rough 3D platforming and brought it to the modern era, made the 3D platforming actually really good, made the powers all feel really good, made the combat, another thing from the first one that wasn't all that great, feel pretty darn good. Like they just did an incredible job modernizing it. They did an incredible job continuing the story from precisely where they left off with the first one. Introduced a lot of fun and hilarious characters, definitely got some new favorites. Sure hope they eventually do a 3. I don't know if they will, but I really hope they do, because I love the world, I love the series, and 2 was just utterly fantastic. I love Psychonauts 2.
This is the one game I keep being like, I should play Psychonauts 2, but I do want to stream it with you. That Psychonauts 1 stream series was super fun. As frustrating as that game was, it had some great moments.
Yeah, when that came out, I played through the game in I think 2 days, and then went and streamed the entire game on save data again. Played through it again on a different platform.
Damn. Shout outs?
Oh yeah, and just some shout outs that I don't think either of you even played. But Tales of Arise, it's another Tales series game. Most of the Tales series are frankly 7 out of 10s. I'm not gonna buff them up, but Tales of Arise was actually like really good. Had really good combat, had really good characters. Art was utterly beautiful. They did really cool stuff with like background and environment art in that game. They had very cool characters who had interesting abilities. The 2 main characters had this like dynamic that was very cool of like the main character cannot feel pain. Like he's literally incapable of it, doesn't have pain receptors, or they don't work, I forget which. And the main female character has like literal thorns where if she gets close to someone, they get hurt. So like they're kind of like put together to put them together. But like the thing with the main character is he doesn't feel pain. He still gets hurt. So like he's still being hurt by this girl, but he's like, I don't care. I'll heal. It's fine. And they even tie that into like the mechanics of the game. Like the your big power attacks, essentially you sacrifice your health as much as you want to get stronger attacks. And it's like, oh, you can't feel it. That's why you're able to do it. And then eventually you get to feel it. And so it has like more weight in that you're like still doing, you're basically setting yourself on fire to deal damage. It's cool. Love that game. It's great. And then the other one I had was Final Fantasy Remake. The DLC intermission was actually like really incredible. It introduced Yuffie to the 7 remake prior to Rebirth. and you essentially did the like a side story of like what was Yuffie doing while the main party was doing all their stuff, which is not covered by the original game, so it was like entirely new content. And had a bunch of tie-ins to stuff later on. Like it had a bunch of tie-ins to the Dirge of Cerberus PS2 game that takes place after Final Fantasy VII, like tied in some of the characters into that world in cool ways. And just Yuffie's like incredibly fun to play. So like getting her introduced just in a DLC was super fun. I had a really good time with it.
Hell yeah. I should Now here we are again. I should go back and finish Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy VII Original.
Just play the second remake, because that one's supposed to be.
I have that one too.
I think Remake is better than Rebirth personally.
I really
he already
enjoyed
played. You finished Remake,
okay.
right?
No, I did not finish Remake. I didn't finish
You don't have to go back to it. That's my point.
No, but I would. I wouldn't go to Rebirth.
You don't have to.
But I'm saying I didn't stop playing Remake because I didn't like it. I just stopped playing it, you know? Why wouldn't I want to just finish the content that's there? It's more my point.
I just go to Rebirth at that point.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But when I think about the story that's in Remake, I could tell you the entire story of Remake in like 2 minutes. And I know that because I played enough of the original to cover Remake, you know?
But that's the problem. Like, I would rather experience
Remake
that.
is not in a bad way, but Remake is producer making stretch signal the game, you know? Like they stretched a lot of that original
They
story
stretched
out.
a ton.
So you don't need to go back to Remake. It's not like you're going to miss stuff.
But I think the point is
he's enjoying the experience.
Yeah, I don't
I'm trying to empower you. But we talked about this. You
different.
Don't have to go back and finish things
that's
that you
different.
stopped. You don't have to.
I don't have a desire to find out more stuff in Metaphor, so I can put that down. He has such a hard time with why people want to play games. It's crazy. Anyways, I'll go next.
I'm trying to help you.
It's not helpful. Resident Evil Village came out in 2021.
It takes a.
According to Wikipedia, I realize I didn't verify any of these ones, which is always the problem we come across. I'm pretty sure it came out that year. I really enjoyed this Resident Evil. 7 was the scariest thing I ever played in my entire fucking life. The back half of 7's a little rough once you're on the ship and all that sort of stuff. Village is just like gothic horror. Hey, here's a crazy game. Let's have some elements of someone who's going to stalk you in this castle. Let's have a fun like fish monster and all these weird areas that you go to. It really, I don't think it revolutionized or did anything different.
Village is 8, right?
Yes, Village is 8. It really was like, hey, here's the fucking hub world. Here's all the areas around it that you can go to. And like, I thought it did that super well. That giant like shopkeeper guy was cool. And it was really fun. And I thought they tied up Ethan's storyline fairly well. It was kind of stupid and silly, like his explanation for things and for the past 2 games. But I thought they put it together pretty well. And as with all Resident Evil stuff, I barely understand anything they were talking about the whole time. But I did get all the parts of my baby. I did escape that horrific fetus that crawls around on the floor. As the worst
big baby. Such a big baby.
Especially, it was worse because it was already in the doll section, which was awful. And then it was just it was just compounded. Yeah, that game's good. Toem, a game Sibylla and Halucha introduced me to. 2021. Why are you looking at me like that?
Me?
Yeah, you got a disgusting face tonight.
What do you think I'm paying attention to you?
Oh, you're disgusting. Toem, you should be paying attention. Shooting pictures of things, having a fun time. Great art style. I think I like 100%ed it when I found out about it. I don't know specifically who to compare it to, but
my save got scuffed.
I'm
so
sorry.
are you going to go back to it?
Even in spite of that, I still.
Why would I go back to finish it, you fucker? Why?
Sorry, that you can't softball me like that.
I
Come
hate
on,
you
man.
so much. Tone 2 is coming out, though. They did announce that, so I'm fucking
yeah,
excited
supposed
for
to
that.
come out this year. Yeah.
Can I
Coming out
ask a
this
question
year.
about Tome? Because
What?
it's one of those games
No,
that I
you'd hate
hear
it.
about a lot,
You'd
and
hate
I
it.
know nothing about it. What type of game is it? Like, what is the gameplay?
It's like a
It's-
indie game type. I don't know.
No, it's
Thank you.
it's
Yeah, like
kind of
photos.
Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
It's kind of Pokemon Snap. You're going around,
You
you're
know-
taking
you're
photos.
taking photos.
You know, micro
You're
macro.
accomplishing.
It's like micro macro.
Yeah.
You're walking around a micro macro
Yeah.
city and taking pictures of like things happening.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
There's another
some
game
there's
that's
some puzzle
similar to this,
elements.
yeah.
You get
Yeah,
some stuff
there's
to
stuff
like
you can do.
try and get things in
Umurangi
the state to take
generation.
a certain
It's a
picture.
cutie game. Definitely a cutie game.
It's
It's
Umurangi Generation. That's the other take a picture game, I believe.
Yeah. This was
Yes.
the first one. Continuing on, Hitman 3. I don't think
Yeah.
I can credit Hitman 3 isn't World of Assassination. That was later. That was after Hitman 3.
Correct.
No,
Correct.
I think was it no,
That is
I thought it was 2 that started. that.
No, I think 3 came out, then they did World of Assassination with the freelancer mode. You can double check. I just
I'll look
didn't
it up.
I didn't want to give the World of Assassination credit here unless I could. But I thought they were different. I guess you guys can look at it. Anyways, Hitman 3, great final chapter to the Hitman trilogy with that like Scottish manor first couple levels that you get to play at. Final levels, whatever. It's kind of annoying that it's what it is, but you know, it's at least different and fun, and you can like do a cool speedrunning thing with it. Hitman games are awesome. I'm excited for the 007, but I'm more excited at the fact that they're going to make another Hitman game after. Also, they added multiplayer to Hitman.
Yeah. World of Assassination was 2023. And
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was not in the
They-
original.
Did I hear that news right? They added multiplayer
What?
to Hitman 3? Like, or they're
There's
going
co-op
to add
coming soon.
it. Okay, there's co-op coming soon.
Not Hitman
that's
3. I
cool.
think it's Hitman World of Assassination.
Yes, sorry,
is
World of
getting
Assassination.
co-op.
Yeah. Which is 3. The
Sort of
rebranding
three.
of 3. Yeah, sort of 3.
It's basically 3.
I mean, it's the Jackbox.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
It's-
Yeah.
We put all of them in one.
It's just
thing now.
I
Yeah.
knew Hitman 3 came out this year. I didn't know if I could credit it with also the World of Assassination stuff, but I can't.
Yeah.
I wrote this one down for Ian. Fucking Dyson Sphere program came out in 2021. A game that you really
man,
like.
That is a good game.
I know.
That
I'm
is
sorry.
a good game.
Vampire Survivors also came out. A game Karen and I are playing a shit ton of right now. And then
Hey. It's good.
I didn't say it wasn't good. I just think Bollocks Pit.
You fucking did.
No,
You
okay.
fucking did for
I
years.
prefer.
For years.
No. I just said I put it down. I don't like it as much as I like Halls of Torment and Bollocks Pit, but it's still a good game. Like I don't know.
I'm glad you finally
It's
came
fun.
around on it.
I never
all.
came on anyone. Okay, officer. So let's cool down here. And then my final
Why the
game.
fuck do you have Valorant on here?
My final game. No, it was Valheim, but you put Valheim, so I'll let you talk about it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I just wrote Valorant because I thought it'd be funny. Oh, but my pick for 2021 is It Takes Two, which I only picked it because I won the Game Awards, and we know they're always right. No, I didn't play It Takes Two in 2021. Once Karen and I were dating, I don't know if we were married yet, but we played through A Way Out, and then we played through It Takes Two, and It Takes Two is so good. It's so very good. I absolutely love it.
Parents
It's how
should
we
have got it to work, but otherwise it's good.
yeah. It's where we discovered we like chess, where we were playing chess in one level for like hours. And it's just like every level in that game is just fun. They have like the open hub area, especially like the winter area where you can just like skate around and do fun stuff. Like you're not like moving on to the next mission. You have these little worlds that you can explore, and they add like little details and stuff in before, and you all the mini games and all that sort of stuff before you go into the next level. So I really like It Takes Two. It's my game of the year that year because it keeps the dream of patching up marriages alive when you should get a divorce. It keeps that hope together for separated dads, where they can be like, I can get back with her even though she has a new boyfriend. Good for them. Good for kids. Ian Gibson, tell me about your divorce.
Yeah, let me start out with my honorable mentions. The Mass Effect collection came out in 2021.
Ooh, good.
And I believe that's also the year that I played it and played through. I didn't beat the third game, but I think that was kind of my fault for playing 1, 2, and 3 back to back and kind of burning myself out. But it feels like the epitome of a remaster, right? Where they're like, hey, we're going to remaster these games. We're going to take the entire trilogy, put them into one game. We're going to bring them all up to speed in terms of graphics and quality of life and gameplay, and also kind of standardize them across each other. So where these games, originally had differences that a lot of people said the first one played worse than the other two, et cetera. They're like, no, forget that. They're all going to play pretty much the same. It's just a fantastic way to revisit that series. Or for me, play through it for the first time. So definitely want to give that a shout out. Valheim, incredible survival crafting game, just such a unique, like low poly Viking aesthetic. It did a lot of interesting stuff. One thing that I'll call out in particular is the food system. It is a survival game, but you do not have to eat. You cannot die of hunger, unlike a lot of shitty games that constantly make you die of hunger. Instead, in this game, starvation is not a punishment. Instead, food is a benefit. So you can never eat food in that game and be fine, but if you want to buff your health, if you want to buff your strength, buff your stamina, etc., you eat food. And that's such a cool way to look at it. It's not about punishing the player. It's about, rewarding the player for eating. Unpacking. Oh, God, I love Unpacking. It's a cool little Australian indie game. I played this at 4 a.m. during our Extra Life stream, and it was just so cozy. Because I played this was like 2 or 3 months after we had moved from Maryland to Florida. So I still had a lot of packing and unpacking on my mind. And it was so cool to play this game, especially on stream, and talk through not just packing strategies, but also talk through like, hey, where do you put your toilet paper? And it's like, for me, I always like to leave in the toilet paper is like talking about your relationships to the objects in your life, not just emotional, but sometimes literal. And in this case, positional, where it's like, where do you like your toothbrush, on the right side or the left side? You put it in a little cup. And the cool thing about unpacking is that for each item, as far as I can tell, there are like multiple locations that you can put it. Like there's a very basic rule for that item. There's not a one specific spot. It always has to go here. Like I remember in one level, I couldn't complete the level. And it's because I realized I had left a DVD case either on the floor or on the couch. And they were like, and I forgot how I found this, but it was basically like, hey, no, that doesn't go on the couch. You can put it on the bookshelf. You can put it on the entertainment center. You can put it on the coffee table. Like there's plenty of places for you to put it, but there's some places you can't put it. And for a cute little indie game like this to have that flexibility was really, really cool. The other game on here, a game that I enjoyed in spite of its chase segments, we talked about how much chase segments suck, is Metroid Dread.
In this game too.
Yeah. Honestly, I stopped playing this game because of the fucking chase segments. But other than that, this game's fantastic. Arguably the best Metroid game. I hear a lot of Metroid fans say that. Like it's just a fantastic 2D Metroid, bringing it up to speed, 1080p, 60 FPS on the OG Switch, which not a lot of games hit. Looks fantastic, plays fantastic, a lot of fun to play, except for the chase sections. But yeah, just a great game. My game of the year, though, however, is a little tiny game called Inscription. Holy shit, folks. This game straight up shocked and surprised me. I'm not going to... You know what? Fuck it. It's been long enough, and these will be some spoilers here. So if you really don't care, thanks for watching. I mean, if you really care about spoilers, thanks for watching. If you don't care, I'll talk about them a little bit. But like, Inscription was such a cool little card game with like a weird spooky aesthetic, and I was like, yeah, I'll play this. And you play it, right? And you play it for a couple hours, and then you beat the game, and then a fucking YouTuber comes on the screen and starts opening card packs in an FMV video. And I literally, I remember backing away from the computer with my hands up going, what is happening? Because you're like, what the fuck is happening? And the game keeps changing like that and keeps adding these weird layers on top of it. And every single one of them is well done and changing the gameplay elements and the story and how things are happening. And there's a moment late in the game in the third act where they're like, you know, it's basically a card game at its core. And they're like, hey, you need to make a new card. But the attack power of this card is going to be determined by the largest size single file on your computer. So here's a file browser window, find it. And you're like, and so like, thankfully I had I think I had some raw footage from like the Blackmagic 4K that we had captured for something for like Stardew Valley board game review or something. So I had like an 80 gigabyte file and I selected that and it was like 40 attack power. But then they're like, that's pretty good. But you know, we want things to get personal. So here's who you're fighting against. And it picks somebody from your Steam friend list, pulls them into the game and makes a card based off of them. And you're playing against them. Like it starts doing all this weird, crazy shit. And at the end of the day, like that is a game where mechanically it's incredible. Just the pure card game that you're playing is so much fun. Aesthetically, it looks so good and it keeps changing. The story that it's telling, like literally a perfect game, like a rare 10 out of 10 across all the spectrums of the rating. It's not like the gameplay's a 15 out of 10, but the story's a little lacking. No, that game's just incredible across the board. So for me, it's got to be Inscription 2021.
Not to further add to your side of this, but there's that great moment I remember you describing. I don't know if you described it before or it was during Game of the Year you described it, but basically you're playing that card game. It's only that card game, and then the guy you're playing against is like, "Oh, we need blah blah blah. Why don't you stand up and go get it?" And the whole time you realize you can stand up from the table now. It just says like press S to get up, and you're in the cabin.
And it becomes like an escape room thing because you start to pull and figure out puzzles in the room to then take back to the table and help you. And isn't that the game where you also pull a tooth out at some point? Like,
you give teeth. Like if you're over, it like gives teeth. Oh my
god. That game's. I think it may be time for me to replay that game. It's so good.
I'm excited for. Well, we still need to play Pony Island on stream because Jake's been begging for us to do that for a while.
We don't. Do we have to play it on stream?
I mean, I don't think we have to play it on stream. I just figured we would because Jake loves it. But I'm excited for Pony Island 2, which was announced. Right? I think PC game show. Anyone convinced of other people's arguments? Are we gonna have to beat each other up?
I mean, I think. Let me just say,
surrender first.
Inscription's so good that we talked about it earlier when we had our 2021 Game of the Year discussion. We were not picking Game of the Year, but all of us brought Inscription as our number one. Coincidentally, like it feels like we have a lot of great games here. But Inscription is doing so many new, unique things and knocking it out of the park that it is such a unique, crazy game. It's hard to compare it to anything else, quite frankly, in this year.
Yeah, I'm trying to weigh, because I don't think either of you are going to side with It Takes Two. But I'm trying to weigh.
Here's the thing, Will.
Uh-oh.
I've never played Inscription.
Oh.
David,
and I don't like card games.
I think
this is worth it, though. This is worth it. It's a pretty simple card game too. Like it's not gonna get stupid mechanics on you, and it's not like build a giant deck out of like 1,000 possible cards type of thing. So it does a good job of keeping it contained.
It is on my list to give it a shot. It's just not.
You'd like it.
Oh,
I assume
mechanically
it's so good.
I'm just like I don't really like card games that much.
So good, Dave. I'm sorry I spoiled it for you. It's so fucking good. It still has a lot of good story beats.
I would have taken my headphones off if I cared.
I was just gonna say Psychonauts 2 to pull something off 16 years later is quite bold.
I still need to watch that documentary.
I know.
It's like Odyssey.
I'm tempted.
It's so good. I got the Blu-ray set.
Should I play the game first before I watch that documentary though?
Yes.
Okay.
If you're going to play the game.
I do really want to play the game. That's that's one of the that and Tales is like
they will spoil a lot of characters and their motivations and stuff if you watch the documentary.
Is that the documentary where you see Matt Booty tell them the things they pitch aren't owned by them anymore? They're owned by Microsoft. Yeah,
it's in there.
Okay, I really want to.
That sounds great.
There is to this day, I didn't want to include it with here because it's not. I think it came out after the game anyway. I don't think it came out in 2021. I could be mistaken. But like that documentary around the game is not flattering portrayal of Double Fine nor Tim Schafer in a lot of places. Like,
oh, really?
That's
it
a
is
good documentary,
not positive
though.
In many
that's
places.
good. Yeah.
Like,
you want nuance.
They're very blunt and blatant with like what it is like to develop a game. The good and the bad parts of that.
I wonder if one of those episodes would be good for a watch party.
I'll watch the whole thing with you. I'll come. Whatever.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I think it is like what? Isn't it like 30 hours in total?
Yeah, it's long.
Hell
it's like 30 hours.
Let's do it. Yeah, I really need to. I don't know. It's between Psychonauts 2 and Tales of Symphonia for me, or for me to stream with you at some point, David. So those are the other ones I'm always thinking.
I mean,
about.
hey, Psychonauts 2 is a lot shorter.
I know, so which I think Psychonauts 2. Anyways,
we need to get that Zoomer audience. So just do both, picture in picture, man.
Yeah.
I can
And
play
Subway
one while you
Surfers.
play the other.
God,
we should do that. Will we can play both of them? Because I can beat Tales of Symphonia in how long it will take you to beat Psychonauts.
But the only problem is like, okay, so there's 16 by 9, so I think we really need 4 games going to properly fit the overlay.
That's true. That's
I mean,
they
don't care
everyone
if you have weird crops in the game.
Yeah, we'll just crop them to be vertical. It'll be fine.
Oh no, sorry. We could do the 2 16 by 9s, one on top, one on the bottom, and on the right hand side is Subway Surfers.
I mean, Tales is 4x3, so.
And on the other side is women on YouTube in is sheer clothing, which is
Then we got Joe Rogan podcast in the top right.
Joe Rogan, yeah, that'd be perfect. And C-SPAN.
We put a loop of Joe Rogan reacting to a clip below what's happening in one of the games,
and then we stream UFC fights, but we put ourselves in the corner so it looks like we're playing the UFC game, but we're actually just streaming UFC fights.
And then TikTok live Miles Morales in the other corner.
Yeah. And then the second plane just flies right through.
Oh, that's good.
God, okay. I'm tempted to give it. I mean, Inscription was my game of the year before It Takes Two, and to reward a man who said "fuck the Oscars" at Game of the Year, and then put it in his next game, just seems like something I shouldn't do.
He put that in his next game.
In Split Fiction, you can find a radio of him. The whole speech and him saying "fuck the Oscars."
That's
honestly that's funny. I don't remember that. But that's funny.
unless wait, did he say that before It Takes Two, or did he say it after It Takes? It's in one of the games.
At the one. Didn't he say it was at the one?
Okay, so then it is in Split Fiction. But yeah, because I came across it and I was like, "What is this?" And then I heard it, and I went,
I vaguely remember that being in Split Fiction, and it was funny to me. Is it like egotistical? Yeah, but it's also funny.
So. Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
It's funny.
But I don't need to feed that ego. I can feed Daniel Mullen's ego all night long until he explodes into another game. I mean, I'll go with Inscription. The past 2 episodes of the show has been me agreeing with the other person. So one of these episodes, I'll agree with Ian.
Yeah. But those were all like relatively equal games. This one is like, David, you got to play Inscription. It's fucking crazy how weird and good that game is. It's something very unique.
Too.
Oh my!
Every level's a different person's brain, Ian.
Yeah.
They
cure mental health.
Yeah. There's a lot of similarities between Psychonauts and Inscription now that I think about it. Yeah.
You get one of the levels, Ian, is a bunch of hand puppet cooking judges, and you're on a cooking show putting food together for them.
Oh my
hell
God.
yeah!
It's fucking incredible.
That's good.
I'm playing Psychonauts too.
That's good.
I'm gonna give it to Inscription. I'm going with Inscription, which means we at least get to come
too
up
early. I was gonna give it to It Takes Two.
We forgot about Deathloop. forgot about Deathloop, guys.
Chicory.
I like Deathloop, but not that much.
We forgot about Chicory.
Chicory's so good.
No. Okay, so superlatives for Psychonauts 2 and for RE Village. The game of the year is Inscription, right?
Yep, game of the year's Inscription. What superlative do you want for It Takes Two? Is it best game about divorce?
Oh.
Best game for newlyweds?
Best game.
That elephant is very dead.
Yeah, that's funny. Best game for newlyweds.
Best.
Game for newlyweds. It Takes Two.
Because it spell newlyweds, it just looks weird to me.
Yeah, no, that's how you spell it.
I think I'm getting worse at spelling the older
dude,
I get.
I'm so getting worse at spelling, bro. I don't know why I called you dude.
It's weird.
Yo, fucker. Oh, I'm getting so bad at spelling, dude. Yo, raw dogger. I'm getting so bad.
Yo, top.
I said to Karen the other night. This is totally unrelated, but I said to Karen, Karen, say it with your mouth. Like, she was like, what else would I say it with? So you didn't have to clarify with my mouth.
There are those moments where you and I, how we talk to each other accidentally slips to the significant others, and they're just like, what are you talking about? Oh, sorry, I forgot to code switch. I'm sorry.
Psychonauts 2, what do you want for superlative? Best comer.
No, not that one.
Best Tim Schafer. Matt Booty's Psychonauts 2.
Best game about a documentary.
Sorry, what was it?
My head lives in my head rent free because it takes place in people's brains.
Lives in David's head rent free.
I mean, they just meant in general. Lives in your head.
We gotta be realistic. It only lives in your head rent free.
Also, Halucha. All right, we both love Psychonauts.
Sorry, I clarified. Lives in David's and Halucha's head rent free. Sorry, Scorpion presents. King K. Rool presents. I think that works.
Beautiful.
Game of the year for 2021 is Inscription. Best game for newlyweds, It Takes Two. And Lives in David's and Halucha's head rent free Psychonauts 2. Hey, bottom line, folks, if you're listening to this and you haven't played any of these games, go play them. They're all fantastic.
Oh yeah,
every game we mentioned tonight is fantastic.
These games. They're great.
Except for actually no, all the games we mentioned tonight are great.
Except for Metroid Dread.
Except for Metroid Dread. Yeah, I dreaded that one. Fusion's good though. Fusion's great. I'm really enjoying that. Folks, that's gonna do it for our show. I'm gonna hit this button, then we can get the hell out of here. This is a long episode. This is a long one. I'm gonna hit this button. Got chatty. Real chatty Cathy's we are. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in. This has been Local Chat, episode 232. I've been your host, Will Crosby. Joining me this week, the wonderful and lovely David from Save Data. David, where can people find you?
You can find me over at Save Data Team on Blue Sky, YouTube, all the things.
Hell yeah. Ian Gibson was here. Ian, people can find you, behind the shack, Jay in it?
Everywhere. At Think Gibson, looking right into your eyes.
Hell yeah. He's got the downstairs camera tonight, folks. We will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern with some Planet Crafter, I believe. Yes, tomorrow. And then next week, some stuff. Hopefully, I got to check with Jake and Kyle, at least Jake, because he has to be there, about some routine next week. But we'll see. Scaredy pants. We'll see you next week, though. Bye.
Bye-bye.